beginner blues or introduction to blues ukulele course. My name is Mike August, and I'm going to show you what I know. First of all, let me start it off by saying that, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, you can show a person chords. You can show them a C. You can show them a C7. You can show them a G and a G7. You know, all those notes, the F and the 7th. But what you do with them lets you create the mood. I look at, when you're playing blues, you're creating a mood for the audience. You're projecting how you feel to the audience, so you can somehow help them to understand how you're feeling at the time. And I believe that's what the blues is all about. It doesn't have to be sad, it can be happy, but a lot of times it is sad. But what you're trying to do is invoke that emotion on people. So you can have a person kicking off something like this. So right there, I'm capturing you in. I'm bringing you into my world. And that's what it is. I think what blues does, in my opinion, is it's like a little slinky. It goes and it contracts, and then it opens up and it contracts. So what you want to do is get that listener with a little tension. So we're bringing you in and letting you go. Bringing you in and letting you go. But you don't know when it's about to happen. And that's the beauty of it all. And I believe that's a way of, then when people tell you blues is a feeling, that's what it is for me. And it's always been that way. So I go out through my day or when I'm playing music, and that's the thought process in my mind when I'm showing somebody that, or when I'm playing my music. So I would like to do that today. I mean, there are many people like Big Bill Broonzy or Mississippi John Hurt or Blind Lemon Blake or Charlie Patton, Son House, all these blues legends like Lightning Hopkins, all these people would project the way they feel at the time on the audience to let you know. And that's what we're doing here. So, do we all get it in one day? Do we all get it in one lesson? No, but we work at it. And that's what we do. We work at it. I worked at it for many, many years and things like that. So, that's what I want to do today. And hopefully, you can get that process in and you can project it onto somebody. So first of all, what are we doing here? Okay, I'm going to play this in the key of C because the ukulele is in the key of C. Now today I'm using this Oreo. It's a thin line Oreo. It's all walnut. It's beautiful. It's a Bonanza. Now you'll notice it has 5 strings. Don't let that fool you, because all it is there's a high and a low here. Other than that, it's tuned exactly the same. So you've got your G, your C, and your E and your A. It's just that this is a double string, a high and a low. So everything that I play here, you can play on your 4th string, no problem at all. This one just happened to be handy and I like it. Also, I have a volume control box for my volume that I've had for many, many years, and I'm plugged up to that so that you can hear me. You can hear it without that, but I'm just doing it today. So that's why, if you notice, what is that little black box right there? Black box. That's what it is, a volume control. That's it. Sometimes I'll use it on stage where I don't have to mute or anything. I can just do that. Fancy. All right, so let's see. Let's get into this a little bit here. Let's try something. First of all, before I tell you, there's a lot of people who, there's going to be scholars, there's going to be music people who'll tell you, you got to know your circle of fifths, you got to know that. That helps. Because when I started to play music, I started on the harmonica. I didn't know how to read music, had no clue, nothing like that. And I would be around guitar players and banjo players and bluegrass players a lot. And they have this knack for never telling you what key they're playing in. They'll just start playing and you have to figure it out, you know. So being a harmonica player, I would have a harmonica with me, which would be a C. And if you played in the key of C, wonderful, because I could play along. But the moment you change into a key of A or key of D or whatever, I wouldn't have any clue of what you're about to do. So I learned very quickly how to do it on my hand, really quick. And I used to say, okay, there's 6. A, B, C, D, E, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, and a G. All right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, F, G. So people always said, okay, look, we're going to play in the 1, 4, 5 progression. Okay. I had no clue what that meant, but whatever. They're going to say, well, it's easy. We're going to play on the 1 chord, and then the next chord is going to be on the 4 chord, and the next chord is going to be on the 5 chord. Well, I had no clue. So, okay, so what are we talking about? They said, well, if we're playing in the key of C, your 4 chord is an F, and your 5 chord is a G. Well, how would I know that? I had no clue. So I learned on my hand. So they would say, okay, look, we're going to play in the key of C. I would say, okay, C, which would be the 1 chord, C, D, E, F, and a G. The 1, the 4, and the 5. Hey, we're going to play in the key of A. A, okay, A, 1 chord, A, B, C, D, and an E. So I know those 3 chords were in there. I didn't know what order they were in, but I knew those 3 chords were in there somewhere, and I would play, and I go, oh, okay, I got it. So that's how I learned playing with the bluegrassers. And then later on, I started to learn a little bit about music. But anyway, I know I'm rambling on, but I'm from the Midwest. This is what we do. So, today we're going to play in the key of C, which is your C chord right here. And we're also going to use an F. So if you've got your 1, 4, and your 5, the C is your 1 chord. Your F, your 4 chord. There's your G right there. Your 5 chord. Now what makes it bluesy is when we use a 7th tone. C, 7th. So I look at the 7th notes are a stepping stone to go somewhere. Okay? Just like when we're playing with the bass. Boom, 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 boom. And he takes you to the next level, to the next chord change. So it alerts the band what we're about to do. So I look at the 7th chord. It's like it's taking me somewhere, you know, but it's also giving me a feeling. That 7th tone, so what's taking me to the F. And there's your 7th, about to take you back to the C. There's your G. C. So that's just a way of doing it. So anyway, let's take a look at this paper. You should have it in front of you. the 12 bar blues. And what we're going to do is the way I have it written out, I have a C chord, which you'll notice will be on your 3rd fret of your E string. And then there's some slash marks. So that would be, so you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go to the C7th chord, which will be here, which is indicated with a 1 on your E string and those slashes. Also, you'll notice we have an F chord, which we on the 1st fret of the E string, 2nd fret of the G string, followed by the hash marks. And then we're going to go over here to back to your C chord, which will be here. 2, 3, 4. So that pretty much explains what I'm about to do here. So if you notice on your 12 bar blues PDF, some of you have it or some people have printed it out, what we're going to do is go over that. Now I don't have a time signature because I'm not that far advanced, but we're going to have it here, and let's play along. And I also have repeat. So we're going to play those 2 lines twice. So if we're ready, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7th. Yes, F. C. Hold the C. 7th. G7th. Whoop. Again. See, even I make mistakes. Yes. To the F. C. Yes. 7th. Now let's go G7th again. And I would end it with a C. Although I didn't put it there, but I would end it with a C. Nice job. Very nice job. Now, the key about that is trying to create a mood. We can be mechanical. Or we can try to create a mood of emotion with it. That part is very hard for me to teach you or show you. That has to come from within. That has to be more your style. So whether you are strumming it or picking it, you know, see what I mean? It has to come from within. So that part I can't teach you. You have to be thinking of something. Maybe there's something that happened in your life or something that invokes an emotion, so you can bring that out. And if you go by the guidelines of like a slinky, for us older people who knew what a slinky was, but for you younger people, think of a something that coils up and, you know, tension, release, tension, release, tension, release. You know, doesn't particularly any type of order, but it works. So now let's move down to the next one, which I have. It's called an intro. That would be a G, the F, the C, the G, and the C. So if you play those chords and then go into your 12-bar blues, it should fit with no problem, because you're ending on the C chord down here on your intro, which would be the beginning of your C progression. So let's give that a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, C, G. Now here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, C7. Yeah. F, C, C7, G7. Beautiful job. And all we did was we just took that G chord and we put an intro into it that way. Good. I hope I'm not boring anybody. I hope you guys got this with no problem, because this is good stuff. This is good. And you can use it all the time. You could definitely use it. Now, the next progression I wanted to show you is in the certain chords, you have minors. Now, in the C realm, you have a D minor and an A minor, because they're kind of relative to the C. So what I used, a progression down here would be a C, an A minor, G, and a C. I mean G, and then back to a C. So it would sound like this. And you've probably heard that intro, you've probably heard that somewhere before. Now, I'm just using downstrokes for now. I mean, we can do the island strum, you can do that if you want to, but for these purposes, I'm just using downstrokes. A minor and an F to a G. Now, in that C realm, you can also use that D minor. I just didn't write it down there because the D minor also fits. Here's your F. It also fits. So let's go with the progression with the C, A minor, F, and G. And let's see what that sounds like. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. One more time. You guys got this. You guys definitely have this. So this is good stuff, really. Now, there's a little riff which I did not include. I should have put that in there, but I will definitely do that. Sometimes if we take our fingers, which you've probably learned this before, which we can fan it out. I use this a lot. I go down and I come back up. Now, how can we do that? So if we can do this, and that's all I'm doing is I'm going fanning down and capturing that E string on the way back up, and that C chord gives it a little flair, little rev flair. So I'm going from here to your C7, open, open, that's a cool little riff for you. So let's go over this one more time. We've got a 12-bar blues, which will be in the key of C. 1, 2, 3, and 3, 7th. Yes, F to your C. C, C7 to your G7. One more time. C, 7th, F, C, C7th, G7th. Beautiful job, beautiful job. Now let's go back to that progression that has that A minor in it, because you've heard that many, many times before places, and it's great to use. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, A minor, to an F, to a G, to a C, A minor, to an F, to a G, to a C. Good job. Wonderful. I'd like to take this time to touch on a few things, okay? I get a lot of people who ask questions about what ukulele would be great for the blues, or what strings would be great for the blues, or anything like that. Well, I can honestly tell you through personal experience, okay? The ukulele pretty much will speak to you, okay? Or your budget in the beginning. Now, I'm 6 feet and I have long fingers, so a little soprano for me doesn't work. It's just, in my opinion, it's too little. It's not that I don't like them. They're little. They have a little fretboard. They're very little, and I need room to stretch out. So I also tried a concert series. Concerts are very, very popular, and people love them. They're just a little bit smaller. I look at the sound of a concert. In my opinion, they're a very compact sound. It's not really open, compact. It's very compact, so it's right there. So it really helps when you're strumming. That kind of sound, you got that nice drive to it. And a lot of people love that. But some people, or some people like smaller hands and they love that. Now for me, a tenor, it gives me more of an open feel, It's a little larger for me. It's very comfortable. Or a baritone, because those are larger instruments and it gives me a lot of fret room, a lot of fretboard. Now, as far as strings are concerned, trial and error. I will tell everybody, one pair of strings, it might sound good on this ukulele, but it might not sound good on another ukulele. You can have, the latest, greatest, funky, fresh, whatever you want strings. And one wood is walnut, one wood might be maple, one wood might be laminate. You have to try different strings to see what works on your ukulele. Because like I said again, it will let you know. You'll go, oh man, that really sounds good. That really sounds good. So just because Mike Argus uses a pair of strings doesn't mean they're right for you. Now, I come from a world of the guitar and the resonator guitar and slide guitar and banjo and mandolin and all these things. So for me, wound strings work great. Now, I can play without them, but to me, they give me the sustain I'm looking for, but they do wear out. So, and I can change strings, and I've been doing it for many minutes, so they work for me. Some people like Living Water strings. Some people like Worth Brown strings, whatever. I'll give you, for instance, I have found this particular instrument. It's walnut. Now, I've tried many, many different strings on it, and what seems to work really, really well for me are the Worth Brown. It's got like a mellow tone to it. They're mellow, and on this particular instrument, they work great, and I think they sound good. And it speaks to me. Now, on my Kamaka or my Acacia Wood Akala, I have other strings on there. I have some good wound strings on those. Kualawi, I believe I might not be pronouncing it right, but they work really, really well. And they're super bright. So depending on the wood, you have to know. And just don't take one person's opinion. I would say seek your own, be your own educated consumer, and get to know a little bit about them. It'll make you a better player down the road, very knowledgeable, and you know what you're doing. And when they have these conversations, you know what people are talking about. That's just my own personal opinion. Okay, I find things that work really well. The strap, this is off an old mandolin. It's a mandolin strap. I just slit a hole, put it right in there. Boom, it works great, and I love the braiding. Works for me, But some people want to go out and buy some fancy ones, and that works. I have some over there, they work. But this one works really good for me too. So I would say try different ukuleles. Go in the store, or if you have a friend that has one, try theirs. See how it is, You might go, oh, I really like this one, and then you try another one with a spruce top, because a spruce top vibrates and it really projects. You might go, oh, I like that one. It's an endless supply. So go in the store, try them, find the one that works for you. I think my first ukulele I ever owned, which I still have it over there, I think it was like $30. And I bought it because I had guitars and my kids used to grab my guitars, so I thought I got a $30 and they would break it and I glue it back together, super glue it. I still have it to this day. It's over there somewhere. I have it to this day, and I can pick on it. You learn the best you can on what you have, and then later on, as your knowledge grows, you get a different one. So I've been truly blessed. I'm lucky. And I have some nice instruments over here, but I'm still working at it. I look at other people and I go, ooh, I would love to have that one. Let's see, what else can we I'm pretty much an open book, and I would love it I like it when people ask questions. I mean, I can give you my 2 cents worth, and if it works for you, great. If you find someone else that you think, oh, I think they give me better information, go for it. I mean, that's how we all learn. That's exactly how we all learn. All right, so let's try that intro one more time. I think that little intro. So there was a strum. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever shown you this, or I'm just taking it like it's a beginner, but I call it the inside, inside, outside, outside. Some people call it something different. Inside, inside, outside, outside. So you're taking your C to your E, to your G, to your A. Now, this may be the right way, it may be the wrong way, but I come from the world of dobros and banjos. 3 fingers. I'm used to 3-finger picking, so I plant my 2 fingers right here for an anchor, and I use these 3 fingers. And I used to sit around the house and do this all day. Down, beat, go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, C chord, F chord, C chord, G chord. And that used to work for me. Inside, inside, outside, inside. The other roll I used to use were banjo rolls, a forward roll. Which would be, which you're using your C, your E, A, and then we're going to go to your G chord. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, to G, and then down. So your G to here. That's the hardest thing you have to learn. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, outside, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, outside. So you put it together. Add it on with your inside, inside. See how that works? See how that works? So you can mix them up and you can add them on. There's a backwards. And I'm just going backwards. So you can add all these things on, and they all come from the banjo world. Every one of them. So whenever you're hearing me pick, a lot of times I might use those. So it sounds like I'm very busy, but actually what's happening is those are just the rolls that I'm using. I will add those in by the time you receive this course. I will add those in. But those are just those banjo rolls that sometimes when you're hearing me play, I'm adding those into the music. And that gives it a different flavor of, you know. See how that works? So I told you I'm a different animal. Very different. So I hope that I'm not boring anybody with this course or anything, but I'm just trying to show you a few things that you can use and bring to life, because it's very, very important that you get this down, this 1-4-5 progression. The 12-bar blues, it could be in the key of C, it could be in the key of A, it's all the same. You've got there's your A, E7, A, D7, your A to your E7, your A. And it all follows that 1-4-5 progression. It all follows that. It doesn't make a difference what key it's in. Even that A minor that I put in there that time, it all is the same. And it all works. It all works. So I think that this would really work for a lot of people. Really. So now I've been playing a ukulele for quite a long time now. I played guitars a lot, and banjos and mandolins and dobros and things like that. So my walk with music has been quite a journey. Probably 30 years or maybe a little bit longer. But along the way, I played in many different bands and blues bands and bluegrass bands and everything else. And I will honestly tell you, it's a good idea to learn from everybody. Don't discard anyone, because there's a lot you can learn. I mean, if you're a blues guy, don't think you can't go to Nashville and watch somebody pick country, because they are phenomenal at what they do. I appreciate good musicians, and I appreciate everybody. And also I see people who are trying. And if we can help each other along the way, that's a beautiful thing. It really is. I was amazed to see some of the things that country players do, or country blues players, and Doc Watson and see that picking pattern? It works. It works right in there. No problem at all. So you've got all that. You've got your Son Houses. You got your Robert Johnson. Everything that I just did follows that same 12-bar blues progression. Those are all the same notes. That was a C, F, and a G, and all I did was just move them. Here's your 7th right there, C, 7. Here's your F, right there, and here's your G. That's another form of G7. It's just disguised in another way. That's it. So I hope yet you were able to take something from this course. I look very, forward to seeing those who can make it down at Tampa this year. But if not, we're definitely going to see each other down the road. Once this pandemic stuff is all over with, that'll be great. We can get out to the festivals a little bit more and play together, because I look forward to playing a lot of music with people along the way. Now, I'm also going to be playing a little slide ukulele. I want to show people what I know as far as that. And if I can teach you something about the different ways of playing, that also works too. But yes, it was my pleasure. And so there's your C7th. Thank you, everybody. I hope you learned a lot from this.